Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's, and today I'm making a little jewelry box for my 4-year-old granddaughter. This started out as a plain wooden box that you can get at Joann's, Michael's, Walmart, and what you do with this, your imagination is your limit. But this is for a little 4-year-old, and she's now got glow-in-the-dark necklaces that she can play dress up with. And if you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. Okay, I got a bunch of wood pieces out. This is a little wood box. You can get these at Michael's and Joann's, and I think Walmart even carries them. I've got some wooden letters and some little wooden hearts. And I can't remember what you call these, but they make perfect little feet. And I got out some paints. I got white. I'm going to base coat everything in 1 to 2 coats of white. And then I got out a bunch of pink paints, and I can't decide which one I like the best. So we're going to play. So I'll be back after I get everything coated on both sides with the white. Okay, I got everything base coated, and I'm just going to set this aside to dry before I go on to the next step. Well, because this is for a little girl who's only 4 years old, I decided to use the candy pink. This stuff is really bright, almost neon, and I think she'll like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these little feet and the box inside out in the pink. I'm going to leave the hearts and the letters white. Okay, I got the first coat of the pink on the inside, and most of the outside I still have to flip it over. But I just wanted to show you, I was really careful to try and keep the paint off of this magnet here and over here, and off of the hinges. And if you happen to get a little paint on there, a toothpick will help scrape it off. But I usually wait until I'm completely done before I do that. And we'll be back after this dries, and I can flip it over and paint the other side. Okay, I got a coat of the paint on here, and it covered pretty well. There's just a little bit on the top that I want to put a second coat on. And the little feet turned out really well. So as soon as I get this done and it's all dry, then I'll go on to the next thing. People have asked me why I always paint wood white first. And the reason that I do that is so that the color of the paint comes out true. If you try to paint this over plain wood, the wood shows through, the wood grain shows through. And that's fine if that's what you're looking for. But when I'm doing a project like this, I want the color to be intense. And if I did it over plain wood, it would be on the dull side. So we'll be back after I give that top a second coat. Okay, it's all dry inside and out. And on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is take these little hearts that I made, and I'm going to hot glue them. In the corners, and then one in the center. And I'll be back when I'm done with that. The reason that I did them in the corners first was to help me better judge where the middle ones go. But now I'm just going to lay out the letters for her name. And once I get them where I know I want them, I'm just going to glue them in place. And we'll be back. Okay, I got them all glued on. A side note, when I glued these, I put the hot glue right in the center and then pressed down when I had it where I wanted it. That way, if the glue was going to ooze, it didn't ooze out onto the box. So now I'm going to take a small paintbrush and I'm going to dip the end into the pink paint. And I'm going to give this some polka dots because kids love polka dots. I don't understand why, but they do. And you just go back in as you need more paint. And I'm going to do this to all the hearts, and we'll be back when I'm done. Okay, I'm going to let this dry before I go on to the letters because I don't want to smear the dots. And the reason I'm not putting glitter or gemstones or anything on there like that is because she's only 4, and I'm afraid that she might pull stuff off, and her little brother isn't even 2 yet, and he's still putting things in his mouth. So, we're just going to leave this plain, but decorated. Okay, all the little dots are dry. So with this really tiny little detail brush, I'm going to gently dip it in to the paint, and I'm going to, if you get too much on, just wipe it off a little bit. But I'm going to add little tiny stitches so that it looks like it was hand stitched on. And then after I get the letters done, I'm going to take white paint and I'm going to put white stitching on the top and the outside of the bottom. So we'll be back. Okay, I got all the stitching on the sides and on the back and all around the lettering. And I'm going to wait till that is completely done before I put the feet on the bottom and sign it. But if you have a little one whose name is a lot longer than 4 wooden letters, you can always take some chalk paint and write the name in, or some regular paint, or even a white Sharpie. Or if you're going to do this in other colors, whatever color you decide, you can just write the name in. Okay, and we'll be back. Okay, I turned it over to the back, and just using a regular Sharpie, I just wrote, "For Lily, love Grandma Sam." Okay, and now I'm going to put the little feet on, and I'm going to put them on so that there's still some wood around the outside. I don't want them hanging off the edge because it's too easy for them to get knocked off. So if you bring them in just a little bit, they'll hold much better. And I'm just going to lay that on there, and when I have it where I want it, press down. And after this is all done, I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to give it a shot of the Krylon Triple Thick just to seal the paint. And by pressing it down like this, you're getting the glue up into the hole of the little feet. And it kind of gives it a better grab. You see what I mean by not covering with white first? The wood shows through. We're painting it with the white and it looks really bright. But I really wasn't worried about it with the hole in the bottom. And there's the little feet on. And I'm just going to give this the spray inside and out, just one good coat, and we'll be back. Okay, I gave it a good spray inside and out. And the main reason that I did this is to keep little fingerprints off. You can wash it once it's painted, so it'll stay nice looking. And what I'm going to put in there is, I found these at Walmart a long time ago. They're glow-in-the-dark necklaces. And kids love glow-in-the-dark. So I'm going to give her a few of those so that she can play dress up. And it's all done. This is the triple thick that I used, which I use all the time. It dries clear and it dries quickly. You could always make one of these for a little boy so that he can put his little cars in. I know Connor is always trying to find a place to put his little cars. You could also make these for the older girls. Use lace, put the jewels, the glitter. These are so easy to put together. The hardest part is definitely waiting for the paint to dry. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.